Well, joining me now to discuss how this recruitment and radicalisation process works, I'm joined from St Albans by radicalisation expert Ghaffar Hussain. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Mr Hussain. First of all, in Kenya, they're still concerned that perhaps some of the dead gunmen will turn out to be American citizens or UK citizens. Presumably, you wouldn't be surprised if they turn out to be foreigners.
No, we shouldn't be surprised if they turn out to be American, British or European citizens. Indeed, there is a large Somali diaspora community both in Europe and in North America. But also, as your reporter mentioned, Somalia and parts of Kenya, in fact, have been the first stop for wannabe jihadis, especially since the war in Afghanistan started in 2001. So, for example, we know that the Woolwich bomber actually went to Kenya and tried to cross the border and join al-Shabab. He was unsuccessful in doing so. Likewise, the widow of one of the 7/7 bombers fled to Kenya shortly after 7/7. So it's been a magnet for Western-based wannabe jihadists for a number of years. So it's highly likely that there will be foreign elements involved in this attack.
Well, help us to understand the draw of that magnet. What is the appeal for someone to travel, say, from the UK to somewhere like East Africa in search of a different way of life, a violent way of life?
Well, for different people, there can be different reasons. I mean, if you're of Somali origin, for example, you may feel as a young, impressionable individual that you want to help your country or do something about the chaos. And in the search to find a solution, you could fall into the hands of radical recruiters. And we know, for example, al-Shabab have a huge online presence. They have a Twitter account that keeps getting closed down, but they make very slick marketing videos complete with hip-hop music and footage of attacks and training. So you can see how young people, young vulnerable people might be prey to that kind of propaganda, but also to kind of mainstream or just other individuals or the Muslims or the converts to Islam. For them, it's about adopting a global narrative which provides them with a sense of identity, solidarity, and a sense of purpose in life. And for them, adopting that global narrative then leads them into the hands of recruiters based in, say, Somalia or Kenya, and attracting them to places like that to start what they think is a holy struggle.
I mean, we are familiar with the mosques in the Middle East that preach certain charismatic messages. We know the madrasas in Pakistan can be very persuasive. Again, once people decide to go there and listen to the imams or whoever else is speaking there. But if I were to speak to one of these young Somalis who's gone back to his country and is choosing the way of al-Shabab, would his argument, would the conversation be coherent? Would they have a deep understanding or a clear understanding of what they're getting themselves into?
In most cases, no, and that's why you'll find that most of the recruits tend to be very young. These aren't individuals with a sophisticated understanding of politics or of theology or of anything else for that matter. It's excitement, it's adventure, it's fun, it's danger, it's all the things a lot of young men are after. So, yeah, you'll be very rare to find a coherent political narrative, because let's face it, the conflict in Somalia is not about religion. It's a conflict, about bringing a stable government into that country after years of civil war. So to inject religion into it, means that they've got an ideological underpinning, and that's what they use to recruit people.
Because the message often comes to these youngsters that they are the ones that have to carry out the dangerous missions, if you like. It's usually the foreigners, the ones that came from outside, that get deployed. And that's true in Afghanistan, it's true in Pakistan as well, and clearly we're probably going to find out it's true in Somalia and Kenya as well. They are the ones that get used, put bluntly, as cannon fodder.
Yeah, they're instrumentalized. I mean, something like, the vast majority of suicide bombers in Somalia are foreign nationals, individuals recruited from Western countries in many cases. The individuals, it's still early stages, but it's believed individuals that have carried out this massacre in Nairobi are largely comprised of foreign nationals. And also there's a split within Shabab. The foreign nationals that have been recruited to Shabab are actually far more radical than some of the local-born al-Shabab members, to the extent that they want to expand the struggle, make it into a regional East African struggle, whereas most al-Shabab cadres are quite happy to keep it within Somalia. So there's actually a struggle going on within. And it's often the case that, the zeal of the convert is the term often used, but it's often the case that those that are new to it don't really have understanding of the local dynamics and are more concerned with a kind of a more global mission that they think they're a part of. So they tend to be more radical, but they also tend to be more susceptible to abuse. And we've seen that in Yemen, we've seen that in Afghanistan, and now I suppose we're seeing that in Somalia.
Ghaffar Hussain, fascinating stuff. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us tonight on Sky News.
Thank you.